Good evening. Today is 18th August 2023 and we are discussing essays. Okay, so this is a special feedback session on the essays which were given earlier for practice. Okay, so it was a test and 3 essays basically I had given. So I have received essay copies of few students on impact of globalization on Indian culture and society. This is one essay. Okay, on 5th August, we conducted this test. And second essay is related to women empowerment in India, a reality or myth. So both these essays are traditional essays. Okay. Traditional means the topics are not very, what you can say, out of trend. Okay, the topics are within the trend, okay, within the periphery. Nowadays, if you see the UPSC essays since last 4 to 5 years, so they have started asking more or philosophical essays. Okay. And with respect to philosophical essays also, we had sessions earlier. Now I have given these essays deliberately because UPSC is such an examination which is having habit to do some kind of experiments. Okay, so now since last few years they have started introducing philosophical essays. Okay, so their UPSC as such do not follow any trend. The trend is always changing. So that's why one should have habit to write some traditional essays also. Okay, and that's why these two topics I have given you. Okay, so now the first essay we are taking for discussion, that is the impact of globalization on Indian culture and society. See, this was an essay which was asked in UPSC in 2004 mains examination. Okay, and in 2004 I wrote same essay, and during my time we were having 200 marks. So out of 200 marks, I still remember that I scored almost 118, 118 something, 118 out of 200. Okay. And it was my first mains, and the time was very less because during my time we were having a specific almost after our prelims in the month of May end or June first week, we were having mains examination in sometimes in October, November. Okay, sometimes the mains examination extended up to December also. So we were having almost 4.5 months. Now UPSC minimized the time between prelims examination and mains examination. So it is, if you are finishing in the month of May, okay, like May end, so you are having only June, July, August, and September. So almost 3 months or 3.5 months. So UPSC minimize 1 month, at least 1 month, okay, compared to our time. Now that that period you are getting 3.5 months, so that is not for reading the additional topics. Okay, like 1 month you can allocate for reading additional topics. Okay, but at least you should have maximum writing practice and maximum like reading revision during this specific period. Okay, so considering this time gap between prelims and the mains, we are focusing on certain very important topics. Okay, with respect to the mains examination, UPSC Civil Services mains examination and the upcoming structure of MPSC also. So in MPSC also, they will be providing, they will be introducing this essay paper uh, from 2025 mains. Okay. So that's why we are considering these both the examinations. But our main focus is on UPSC civil services. So as a part and parcel of strategy, we are discussing essay writing. Okay, I am giving you right from the beginning, I am giving you writing essays. Because if you write, if you are having practice of writing two essays, okay, two essays in every week or fortnightly or in every month, if you're writing at least two essays, okay, so um, there is a possibility that with respect to approach, with respect to uh, the thought process of essay, and with respect to um, organization of the ideas in a proper manner, so you would get that specific like you would develop that specific mindset how to write essay. Okay, because essay writing is not just related to your bookish knowledge. Okay, means you have read this book and that book, and you have gone through the essays of so-called toppers. Okay, so that is not that is not a that is not an approach with respect to the preparation of essay writing. Okay, like with respect to essay writing, what is more important that you should have your own ideas. Okay, you are having knowledge, so you should have your own ideas. Okay, you should be you should be organized. Okay, you should be sorry, there is a net issue. So when you are when you are taking up some essay topic for writing, so the first important thing, as already I have discussed with you, that think about that topic, ki why I have chosen a specific topic. Okay, in section A you are having four topics, in section B you are having four topics out of four in first section and four in second section. You need to write essay on one topic at least. Okay, so think about topics ki why I am going for this specific topic in each section, and then you need to organize your ideas, your viewpoints, okay, in a specific manner, one by one. There should be a structure. Okay, there should be a proper structure, proper words, okay, proper thought process, approaches. Okay, so essay is nothing but a mix of so many things, like your thinking process. Like when I am giving you essay that women empowerment in India, a myth or reality. Okay, a myth or reality. So you should think about this topic, okay, very properly. You try to understand ki why this topic is given. Okay, what is like what is a mindset of uh, UPSC? If UPSC is giving you this topic in essay paper, so you need to understand ki what is the relevance of this topic, why this topic is given here, okay, for this 2023, for 2024 or whatever year. Okay, and then accordingly you should develop your thought process. You are having ideas, okay, you are having knowledge about different incidences. Okay, you are going through regular newspapers, regular news channels. Okay, and you will come across so many things about the empowerment of the women, so many things about the atrocities associated with the women, so many things related to the domestic violence, so many things related to so many things. Okay, and the women of all walks of life. So when you are writing essay like this topic, so you should organize your essay in such a manner ki, which will give or which will maintain a proper balance, okay, with respect to the subject of that essay. Okay, if we are talking about globalization and its impact on the Indian culture and the society, then the first thing is that you need to understand ki what is this globalization. Okay, you should not write essay just like answer of mains question. Okay, because in mains examination, if they are giving you a question ki stress the impact of globalization on the Indian society and the culture, or discuss the impact of globalization on the Indian culture and Indian society. So this can be a question for mains examination. Okay, women's empowerment in India. Okay, myth or reality. This can be also framed as a question of mains examination. Okay, but the approaches are somehow different. Content may be same, but the approaches would be different. Okay, so while dealing with the topic of globalization and its impact of Indian culture and the society, you should have understanding of the globalization, the concept of globalization. What is this concept of globalization? Then you should have understanding of Indian society, Indian culture. Okay, what is Indian society? Okay, because when we talk about Indian society, then at the conceptual level, many people they fail to understand the actual concept of the society. Okay, many of the people they think that ki, okay, this society means what ki samaj. So samaj means what ki jati. Okay, so many people having this misinterpretation of the society. Ki society means what? Ki society means jati. Okay, one jati, another jati. And in Marathi also, when you are talking about the society or the samaj, so when we talk about the samaj in Marathi, so samaj means what? The jati. Okay, jati or samho. Okay, so when you are writing something on such topic like globalization and its impact on the Indian society and the Indian culture, then you need to understand these are three words at a conceptual level: globalization, concept; society, concept; culture, concept. And with respect to India, okay, once you understand these things at conceptual level, then you can start your essay. Okay, now I have gone through essay. So like um, few students, I have gone through the essays of few students, whatever the essays I have received. Okay, so I have found that like Aditya started essay. Aditya, okay, Aditya Banjari. Okay, so you must have wrote this essay related to this thing, Indian culture. So you have started essay with uh, your experience. Okay, experience in my first encounter with globalization, as far as I could remember, was in the early 2000 via American cuisine. Maybe the word cuisine is a bit too sophisticated for American fast food. I was a young child, and our grandpa took all the cuisines to celebrate the birth of a new baby. Okay, now this introduction, or okay, or the beginning of the essay with this kind of example. So see, this is somehow different kind of beginning. Okay, somehow different kind of beginning. Uh, we went to Shabana Bakery, okay, just across the road, and each one of us got a burger. Okay, I had seen animated characters eating burgers on Cartoon Network, And for the young child I was, the feeling I experienced back then, I would now describe as काहीतरी तू काय शब्द लिहिलाय वाचता येत नाही मला काय लिहिलाय
Surreal.
हा
Surreal.
तू काय ते
Surreal. Like more
ओके
real.
सो रिअल
So real, like above
सो रिअल
reality.
ओके सो रिअल
म्हणजे
हा
जे कार्टून
यस
मध्ये बघितलं
हा
मी
हा
आणि मी ते
हा
स्वतः
हा
पाहतोय
हा
आता तसं.
ओके ओके हा then there was the television. It was a huge ton equivalent to today's 5 flat screens kept upon each other. Okay, I was an okay. So आता हे जे असे आहे ना, like why I have taken this example, because this is some kind of different beginning. Okay, like what आता एक एसे मी वाचतो याच्याच कंपॅरिझन मध्ये दुसरा मी एसे तुम्हाला सांगतो म्हणजे तुम्हाला तुमचंच कळेल की इफ आय एम अ व्हॅल्युअर देन आय विल डेफिनेटली appreciate this beginning. Okay, because this is not a bookish beginning. Okay, this is not a beginning which is associated with some definitions of globalization and all that. Okay, so if you are writing answer means, if you are writing answer, see, I have already told you that there is a difference in writing mains question and in essay writing. So if you are writing essay, you need to start your essay with this kind of introduction. Okay, because he is narrating globalization like American cuisine, birthday party, right? Burger. This is he is linking his understanding with the practical life. That is expected in essay. And when you are writing for mains, so you don't need to narrate this one. Okay, there you need to narrate, or there you can mention the definition of the globalization. Okay, okay, that at in mains answer, like in proper general studies paper. But when you are writing essay, so in essay this kind of beginning is important. लक्षात येते मी काय म्हणतोय ते? I hope you are understanding. Okay, I'm just mentioning, like I'm just reading another essay. म्हणजे तुम्हाला डिफरन्स कळेल. विशाखा हा तर विशाखाचा आहे. विशाखा आय थिंक इज नॉट हियर ॲट present. Vishaka Shinde. Okay, now how she started. See, impact of globalization on Indian culture and society. Globalization means the huge impact in our life. It means the trading is done globally in all across the world. It means the company operating of trade internationally. Globalization is the process of increasing economic, political, cultural interdependence and integration among countries. Therefore, globalization have cultural impact. That is, people of different countries have led to the concept of global citizenship. Okay, there is a like here here Vishaka need proper understanding of globalization. She tried to start it with the definition, but even the definition is not properly structured. लक्षात येते तुमच्या? डेफिनेशन सुद्धा स्ट्रक्चर्ड नाही आहे. ओके, त्याच्यामुळे ते कसं तुटक तुटक लिहिल्यासारखं झालंय. ग्लोबलायझेशन मीन्स द ह्यूज इम्पॅक्ट इन अवर लाईफ. ओके, ठीक. It means the trading is done globally in all across the world. It means the company operating of trade internationally. Globalization is the process of increasing economic, political, cultural interdependence and integration among countries. Okay, so हे कसं ना की हे थोडंसं ठीक वाटत नाही. म्हणजे ही कशी की ठीक आहे, she tried, okay, she tried to begin with some definition, okay, her understanding, but actually in essay writing the example which is given by Aditya, okay, so if valuer is checking both the papers, then he or she will award more marks to the introduction which is given by Aditya. Okay, so basically this is very important approach in in understanding the concept of globalization, in writing the essays like globalization. And when it comes to its relation or the impact on the Indian society and the Indian culture, then it is a vast area. It is a vast area, society and culture. Okay, during my time, I still remember then when I wrote this essay. So what was my understanding and what was my logic? So I still remember that I relate the process of globalization and its impact on the on the different professions of Indian society. Okay, on the different professions of Indian society. Like I related globalization with the agriculture. I related globalization with the pottery making. I related globalization with the different groups of artisans. Okay, and in a story form. Okay, I narrated that essay in a story form, and that's why even though it was my first attempt, and the most important thing was that I I hardly studied for 2 months because during immediately after prelims I got operated. Okay, it was a major surgery because of some reasons, and almost for 2 months I wasted my 2 months. ओके, म्हणजे मी कदाचित होऊ शकते की मला जर त्यावेळेस ते पूर्ण वेळ मिळाला असता तर मी 2004च्या बॅच मध्येच कमीत कमी IRS म्हणून निघालो असतो. ओके, कारण त्याच बॅच मध्ये मग ओके, पण ते नाही झालं. आता जाऊ द्या, तो जुना भाग आहे. पण ओके, सो माझे 2-2.5 महिने जवळपास वेस्ट केले. म्हणजे 1-1.5 महिना तर बेड रिडनच होतो मी. ओके, सो बेसिकली बट स्टिल इन मराठी लिटरेचर ऑल्सो like during that time the topper of Marathi was 250 and I could score 230 marks. म्हणजे सगळ्यात बेकार त्यावेळेस व्हॅल्युएशन झालं होतं लिटरेचरचं. ओके, आणि माझी पहिली बेंच होती आणि मला 15-20 दिवस नव्हते मिळाले लिटरेचरचा अभ्यास करायला. पण तरी पण मला 250 टॉपर होता महाराष्ट्रात आणि 232 मला मार्क्स मिळाले होते. ठीक आहे. सो बेसिकली लक्षात घ्या की इफ यू आर रायटिंग, इफ युअर थॉट प्रोसेस इज up to the mark, if your thought process is good, okay, if your thinking process is somehow different from the crowd, so definitely you could score the base marks in essay. See, we have just started our batch, okay, this current batch, and I have started giving you essays. Okay, last year also and every year I do the same thing. Okay, because we are having sufficient times for the next year's prelims. But the most important thing is that those who are appearing for next year prelims, so immediately after prelims, we don't have time. Okay, and now what is my strategy? That if we finish those important subjects which plays great impact, okay, or which is having great contribution in scoring at the mains level, then we should finish those portions of those paper first. And that's why we have started essay writing. Okay, essay writing practice right from the beginning. Okay, just recently we have started ethics also. So ethics is also the most contributing factor at the mains level. Okay, so Joseph sir, from the coming week he will continue. Okay, at least 2 to 3 days a week, right? So we are doing that. So basically, as far as the essay is concerned, you need to be very keep your eyes open. Okay, understand the society, the developments in the society, and try to interlink so many events in the society, whether past events or the present events, considering the topic of the essay. So when I am talking about women empowerment, so you need to consider the present situation. Okay, mostly the present situation. Okay, and earlier development also, and the future scope also. Okay, consequences. When I am talking about the globalization, that to understand the globalization, you need to understand the process of globalization. So the past मध्ये जावं लागेल आपल्याला. Okay, past, present, and the future. Okay, you need to understand overall impact of that specific concept. Okay, so let us talk about the other essays. मी आता काही एसेस बद्दल थोडंसं इथे बोलतो. आभा, शी हॅज, आभा इज देअर, आहे का आभा? नाही आहे का? ओके, आभा इज नॉट देअर. ओके, ठीक आहे. मग जे आहेत त्यांचेच एसे वाचायला घेतो मी. हा, आदित्य वाकचौडेचा एसे मी घेतो वाचायला. ठीक आहे, त्याच्यानंतर एक एक. सो इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन ऑन इंडियन कल्चर अँड सोसायटी. ओके, नाऊ हिअर आदित्यनी पण छान हे केलेलं आहे. ओके, सो रामभाऊ, ही इज ऑल्सो हॅव्हिंग अ डिफरंट काइंड ऑफ बिगिनिंग. रामभाऊ, ही वॉज ट्रॅडिशनल. फक्त आदित्य, तुला एक काम करावं लागेल की तुला तुझं ग्रॅमॅटिकल थोडंसं करेक्ट असणं गरजेचं आहे. ओके, रामभाऊ, ही वॉज ट्रेडिशनल फार्मर, लिव्ड इन सररगाव विलेज. ही यूज टू प्रोड्यूस ट्रेडिशन. ओके, ट्रेडिशनल पाहिजे ते, ट्रेडिशनल फूड क्रॉप्स फॉर द डे टू डे consumption and remain sell into local market. He was not earning very well from his agriculture activities and not even able to fit needs of his family. Famous. Okay. Due to lack of money and less production in agriculture, he didn't able to come out of from poverty. But after 1991, okay, and introduction of various machineries, techniques, and government policies, he made huge production and profit. He also sold his product in foreign countries where he earned good money. Okay, good. ठीक है. His social standard and wealth increased tremendously. Now he become ideal example for other farmers. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, but this you have written a very positive impact. Okay, but at the same time, if you see, uh, there are different issues of the farmers also. So हा थोडासा आयडियलिस्टिक काय म्हणतात त्याला, हा एकदमच आयडियलिस्टिक झाला की तो आधी एकदमच गरीब होता आणि त्याच्यानंतर तो एकदमच खूप हे झाला, ट्रिमेंडस चेंज. ओके, सो थोडासा आयडियलिस्टिक फील आहे. सो इन्स्टेड ऑफ आयडियलिझम यू शुड हॅव सम सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रॅक्टिकल अप्रोच. ओके आदित्य, लक्षात येते ना? हा, so this is only one example of the globalization and its impact on the society. आता सोसायटी म्हणण्यापेक्षा हा जो इम्पॅक्ट आहे हा एका स्पेसिफिक याच्यावरती आहे. ओके, बट दिस एक्झाम्पल इज सफिशियंट टू एक्झाम्पल कन्सेप्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन. ओके, ठीक आहे. ओके, सो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टँड meaning and what are the consequences of globalization, which give conceptual clarity about globalization. The simple meaning of globalization is that increasing interconnectivity and one event happen in one part of the world pose the impact on the other part of the world. ठीक है. Example, Russia-Ukraine war steadily impact African countries. Concept of global village have emerged. ठीक है. So ठीक है, तू अशा पद्धतीने लिहिले. तो याच्यानंतर एज्युकेशन, सोशल स्ट्रक्चर, पब्लिक ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, इकॉनॉमी, या सगळ्या गोष्टी लिहिल्या आहेत. ठीक आहे, तू काही लोकांचे कोटेशन्स पण दिलेले आहे. लॉर्ड रॉबर्टसन राइटली एक्सप्लेन दॅट ग्लोबलायझेशन make our society more creative, prosperous, but also more vulnerable. Okay, wherever new thing comes, it also brings some changes. Since globalization have emerged in Indian society, it have brought so many changes into Indian society, both positive as well negative. ठीक है. ठीक आहे आदित्य, चांगलं लिहिलंयस तू. ठीक आहे, चांगलं लिहिलंय. सो चांगलं लिहिलंय, फक्त काही ठिकाणी आदित्य थोडस हे करावं लागेल, काय फिनिशिंग करावं लागेल थोडस. ठीक आहे, सो गुड एफर्ट. आता या आदित्यचा मी वाचतो, आदित्य वंजारी. विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट. आदित्य तुझा मी दुसरा एसे वाचतोय, विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट. women empowerment in India, myth or reality. Okay, so the beginning is with quotation of Dr. Ambedkar. It's a quote of Dr. Ambedkar. I judge the progress of a community by the status of its women. Okay, so this is good beginning and very very much what you can say appreciable in these kind of essays. ठीक आहे, तर हा इथे ही जी इंट्रोडक्शन आहे ती चांगली आहे. अशाच पद्धतीने तुमच्याकडे जर काही कोटेशन्स असतील तर तुम्ही हे करू शकता, इंट्रोड्यूस करू शकता. Even if marginal, it can be observed that the status of women tends to be lower than that of men. I would keep this essay in context of India, but such an observation could be made across societies in the world. Okay. In cases when the okay, so this is again important across societies in the world. So specifically, our focus is on India. Okay, but overall world पण ठीक आहे. So in cases the overall society, social status of women in higher, like in case of Savarna women, they do not possess freedom. When it comes to peasant and working class women, they tend to have freedom and arguably more equality at par with the men of their class, but not in the society as a whole. Okay, so this is comparison between so-called upper caste and the lower strata women. There lies a clue on what could be roadmaps to empower women, letting women to work shoulder to shoulder with men. मी मुद्दाम वाचतोय म्हणजे तुम्हा बाकीच्यांनाही कळावं म्हणून सगळ्यांनी कोणी कोणी काय कसं लिहितायत. The problem of status still remains. Such an imbalance persisted to male and female offspring has till to the end and brutal practice of female foeticide or infanticide. This adversely affects the of the separation of the given particular region.
Saturation.
Saturation. Of the given particular region. Overall picture in India remain little or as more men than women. Little remain bit tilted as more men than women, with exception like Kerala. Okay, in cases when the girl child is allowed to live, she is appreciated when she does masculine behavior. Okay, in fact, this is related to the appreciation and the value they get by working side by side with men. Oftentimes, women empowerment end up being masculization of women. Okay, we as a society need to reflect upon the fact that is it really women empowerment? Okay. Because if women will receive equal value to that of men only when they perform masculine behavior, does it represent on a metaphysical level an equality of masculine and feminine, a balance between yin and yang? ठीक आहे. ठीक आहे, चांगला आहे याला जे बऱ्यापैकी तू more aspect of empowerment is responsibility. The person who holds the power also bears responsibility. This kind of responsibility is towards those who have given you the power. Okay, if a community has empowered the women folk, then they bear responsibility towards this. This is not just limited to women, but all other recipients of empowerment via social justice movements and welfare state. Okay. Disempowered individuals. including women. By definition, काय आहे? Load power, lack power, and such power is acquired by collective means. Social justice movements did a collective struggle, and only through such struggle could the women actually याच्यामध्ये काय आहे ना आदित्य acquire empowerment. The various reforms of India, such as the Phule couple, have struggled to get the women access to education. Raja Ram Mohan Rai struggled towards the abolishment of Sati Pratha. Dr. Ambedkar finally played a role in liberation of all Hindu women via the Hindu civil law. Okay, this brings us to Ambedkar's concept of giving back to the society. Once an individual has become empowered, then it became their duty to pay back to the society. Such payback cannot be instituted by compulsion, because it would then infringe upon the freedom of the said empowered individual. Therefore, women who have benefited from feminism can be compelled to pay back by helping other women and the society as a whole. Such a sense of duty should come in from within her. ठीक आहे. हा आदित्य, याच्यामध्ये काय आहे की लाईक याच्यामध्ये ना तू डिस्कशन केलेलं आहे. ओके, बट discussion need to be like discussion should be supported by, because what is the topic, women empowerment in India, myth or reality? Okay, so discussion or your narrative should be supported with examples, the present situation. On the basis of that only we can establish the topic of this essay. Okay, this is whether this is myth or whether this is reality. Okay, so what is the reality, and on the basis of that, if reality is not up to the mark, then the empowerment of the women is myth. If reality is up to the mark, then definitely we need to accept that, okay, empowerment is going in a proper direction. Okay, so your description is good, ideas, in fact interpretation is good, but it should be supported by what you can say evidences or the practical happenings. Okay, so when like you need to mention here so many things like the positive parts and the negative parts. So you need to accept the development in the education, the development in the participation of the women in jobs, okay, in corporates, in politics, okay, in economic field, okay, in cultural field, okay, etc., etc. And then afterwards you mention, means this should be the approach of writing this essay, that you need to mention the positive factors related to the empowerment and the negative factors which are restricting the development or the empowerment of the women. And then finally, on the basis of that, those specific factors, you can finally conclude that whether the empowerment in India of the women is myth or reality. ओके, तर तशा पद्धतीने तो लिहावं लागेल. ठीक आहे. सो हे 2 एसेस झाले. आणखी काही लोकांचे मी वाचतो. मला वाटतं ठीक आहे, आदित्यचं वाचलं ना. हा, आणखी काही लोकांचे मी वाचतो. ज्यांनी लिहिलेले असतील त्यांनी पण लक्षात घ्या की तुमच्या रायटिंग मध्ये काय असलं पाहिजे, आणि मला क्लासमध्ये सबमिट केलं तर मी तुम्हाला फीडबॅक देऊ शकतो नंतर. पण आता या डिस्कशन मधून बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी क्लिअर होतील. अँड ट्राय टू कम टू क्लास पर्सनली. ओके सागर, तुझं मला हँडरायटिंगच कळत नाहीये, त्याच्यामुळे ठीक आहे वाचण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन ऑन इंडियन कल्चर अँड सोसायटी. आहेस का सागर? सागर पण नाही वाटत. सागर नाही आहे. ठीक आहे. वैष्णवी आहे, वैष्णवी दोन्ही पण वैष्णवी आहे. ठीक आहे, दोघींचे पण एसेस वाचेल मी. वैष्णवी जगदाळे, इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन ऑन इंडियन कल्चर अँड सोसायटी. ओके, आता वैष्णवी तुझा एसे कसा लिहिलायस तू ते थोडं सांगतो मी. ओके, if we compare our ancient, medieval and modern history, we find that there are changes in society, changes in lifestyle, environmental changes and so on. We also found that there was no that much amount of currency. Okay, uh, no, no that much amount of currency when this got introduced as compared to today's scenario. Okay, ठीक आहे, थोडंसं वाक्यरचना ही व्यवस्थित व्हायला पाहिजे. Okay, sentence, framing of sentence. Okay, also we found various aspects other than this which we know as ancient period, medieval period and modern. थोडंसं थोडंसं वाक्यरचना जरा प्रॉपरली यायला पाहिजे, वैष्णवी लक्षात घे. ओके, ड्युरिंग these periods, so ग्रॅमॅटिकली पण थोडं करेक्ट असणं गरजेचं आहे. There was a great introduction of the term globalization along with the liberalization and privatization. Okay, these are somehow interconnected concepts and cause a great impact throughout the world. And it is shortly called as LPG, that is liberalization, privatization, and globalization. As we are already knowing these concepts, which changes entire world, along with changes made in lives of people of various countries. Let us have a look over the term globalization. The word globalization, the name itself suggests that meaning of a change throughout the world. That what are those changes? Basically, before the introduction of globalization, there were no as such transactions of any commodity or any information. This concept deals with the various transactions happens between one to throughout the world. Okay? In short, there were the introduction of import export between countries, natural resources like minerals which are found in the various countries. Basically, each of the minerals cannot find at one place, so none of the country is self-sufficient. Okay? One or the other country requires some or other equipments and they need to ask from the other countries for it. There are various such topics had come into force and play vital role. And every country needs fulfillment process or concept multinational companies, that is MNC plays important role in private sectors and it plays throughout the world. बघ रिपिटेशन खूप ठिकाणी झालेलं आहे, काही काही शब्दांचं ते नको व्हायला. ओके, आणि इंडियन कल्चर बद्दल इकडे समोर तू लिहिलंय, ॲज वी आर अवेअर अबाउट द इंडियाज कल्चर इज फेमस इन वर्ल्ड, वी फाउंड varieties into it. Likely culture is all about religion, caste, festivals, architecture, literature. Okay, त्याच्यानंतर food, dance forms, clothing style वगैरह. The culture concept is varies according to the society of a particular territory. We found there are lots of differences, as I have mentioned above, along with external. हा, आता कसं ना वैष्णवी, तू याच्यामध्ये खूप सारे कल्चर्स लिहिलेले आहेत की या स्टेटचं ते आहे, त्या स्टेटचं ते आहे वगैरे. पण याच्यामध्ये हा, हाऊ ग्लोबलायझेशन इम्पॅक्टेड ओव्हर इंडियन कल्चर, हा हे तू नंतर लिहिलेले आहेस. ठीक आहे. वैष्णवी, तुझ्या डोक्यामध्ये खूप साऱ्या गोष्टी आहेत, फक्त त्याला ऑर्गनाइज करायच्या आहेत. लक्षात येतंय? तू बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी इंटरलिंक करण्याचा प्रयत्न केलाय या एसे मध्ये, पण त्याला ऑर्गनाइज नाही केलेला आहे प्रॉपरली. अँड सी कन्सेप्ट दिस एसे इज नॉट what you can say very different or difficult. Essay is very simple. Need to understand essay properly. Okay. Expectation of essay. Okay. You need to understand ki what is expected in that essay. काय expected आहे. ओके, ते तुम्हाला समजलं तर येईल. एक बघा आता याच्यामध्ये आणखी आता मी कोणाचा एसे वाचू, गणेशचा वाचतो, मग त्याच्यानंतर आपण पुढं थॉरोली डिस्कशन करू. गणेशने मराठीत लिहिलेला आहे. गणेश, मराठी मीडियम मध्ये लिहिणार आहेस का तू एक्झाम? गणेश, मराठी मीडियम एक्झाम देणार आहेस गणेश? अरे आहेस का गणेश? आहेत का बाकी लोक सगळे आहात? ऑल ऑफ यू?
यस सर.
ठीक आहे. चला गणेश, गणेश आहेस का तू? आदित्य कुठे आहे रे गणेश?
माहित नाही सर.
वेगळ्या स्वरूपात दिसून येते. जागतिकीकरणामुळे समाजावर परिणाम होऊ शकतो. जाती व्यवस्थेमुळे आंतरजातीय विवाह एकमेकात दिसून येते आणि सामाजिकीकरणाच्या स्वरूपात दिसून येते. जागतिकीकरणामुळे देशाची अर्थव्यवस्था, शिक्षण यांचा विचारांचा विस्तार झाला आहे. यामुळे जे कमकुवत झाले आहे, काय लिहिलं यांनी, काय त्यालाच कळलं नाही बिचाराला काय लिहितोय हा. जागतिकीकरणामुळे देशाचे शिक्षण यांच्या विचारांचा विस्तार झाला आहे, त्यामुळे ते कमकुवत आहे. काय लिहिलंय? आर्थिक व्यवस्था कमकुवत झाली तर देशाची अर्थव्यवस्था बनली. जागतिकीकरणाचे अनेक प्रभाव आपल्याला दिसून आले आहेत. जागतिकीकरण हा आपल्या बदलांशी संबंधित आहे. ग्रामीण भाग हा विकसनशील होऊ लागला आहे. ग्रामीण भागाला शहरीकरणाच्या स्वरूपात आणले जाऊ लागले आहेत. कौटुंबिक विघटन आणि वाद हे वाढत लागले आहेत. असा जर एसे आणि युपीएससीच्या एक्झाम मध्ये लिहिला. कुठे गणेश, कुठे गेला गणेश? कुठे गेला? असे जर तुम्ही 9वी 10वीतल्या पोरांसारखे एसे युपीएससी मध्ये लिहायला लागलं तर कसं होईल? काय आदित्य, गणेशला सांग जरा व्यवस्थित. तुम्ही दोघं येता येता ट्रेन मध्ये डिस्कशन नाही करत का रे? आदित्य, त्याच्यासोबत डिस्कशन करत चल
Yes, sir.
येताना.
Yes, sir.
त्याच्यासोबत जरा डिस्कशन करत जा आदित्य सोबत येताना जाताना ट्रेन मधून. वैचारिक लेवलला लिहावं लागतील आपल्याला. हे आता हे असं एकदम चाइल्डिश लिहिल तर कसं होईल? ठीक आहे म्हणा, अजून वेळ आहे त्याला. बट देअर इज नीड ऑफ मच इम्प्रूव्हमेंट. ओके, चला आणखी वैष्णवी भावेकर. वैष्णवी भावेकर आहेस ना तू? वैष्णवी भावेकर आहेस का?
सर.
तुझा वाचतो मी. तुझा एसे वाचतो. विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट इन इंडिया, रियलिटी और मिथ. Empowerment of any society in a society, any section in a society is a myth until they are confirmed equality before law. Okay, the foundation of freedom, justice and fraternity is based on the recognition of inherent dignity, equal and inalienable rights to all the members of society. Good. The last decades have witnessed some basic changes in status and roles of women in our society. There has been shift in policy approaches from the concept of welfare development in 70s and 80s and now to empowerment in 90s. छान beginning आहे. Women empowerment process has been further accelerated with some section of women becoming increasingly self-conscious of their discrimination in the several areas of family and public life. They are also in a position to mobilize themselves on issues that can be affect their overall position. In the framework of democratic policy, laws, development policies have aimed at women's advancement in different spheres. ठीक है. In India, different varieties of religious people in many states. There are many states women are not educated and are dependent to others for survival. Good. To the mission is to eradicate the women are weak. For the women will have to be empowered. Men to have to play a constructive role in this regard. They need to respect women because of multiplicity of roles she plays in their lives. She is a mother, sister, wife, grandmother, etc. And none of the roles are lesser than the other. She has to evoke the hidden strength in her. Only then there will be phenomenal betterment of society. Women are not less than men in any way, and society must understand that a woman does not have a soft heart, but a caring heart. There are many things man can never possess, and Providence has gifted women abundantly, and one such thing is a compassion. ठीक आहे. चांगली सुरुवात आहे. नॅरेशन पण चांगला आहे. फक्त मी जसं मगाशी म्हटलं की लाईक सी this essay is not just related to your narratives. Okay, like whatever, like you are making statements and statements, that is good thing. अच्छा, मी कोणाचा वाचत होतो? अच्छा, मी भक्तीचा वाचत होतो एसे. सॉरी, मी एसे भक्तीचा वाचत होतो. भक्तीचा. भक्ती नाहीये वाटते इथे. अरे आता 2 एसे होते. छान लिहिलाय तिने एसे. ओके, आता वैष्णवीचा एसे माझ्याकडे आहे. ग्लोबलायझेशन. ठीक आहे. वैष्णवी भावेकर. सो आता जो एसे वाचला तो भक्ती यादवचा होता. ती नाही आहे आता क्लासमध्ये सध्या. आज नाही वाटते ती. ठीक आहे. सो चांगला लिहिलाय तिने. आता मी वैष्णवीचा माझ्याकडे आहे. वैष्णवी भावेकर, ग्लोबलायझेशन अँड इट्स इम्पॅक्ट ऑन इंडियन कल्चर अँड सोसायटी. ओके, सो याच्यामध्ये या ग्लोबलायझेशन इज अ प्रोसेस ऑफ इन्क्रीजिंग इंटरडिपेंडन्स हा एकच मिनिट. बरं, तुम्ही जे काही एसेज वगैरे लिहिता ना, ते लिहित असताना एक लक्षात ठेवा की हे एसेज तुम्ही स्वतःच्या लँग्वेज मध्येच लिहायला पाहिजे. जस्ट अ मिनिट. या तुझा वास्तविक ग्लोबलायझेशन इज अ प्रोसेस ऑफ इन्क्रीजिंग इंटरडिपेंडन्स interconnectedness and integration of economies and societies to such an extent that an event in one part of the globe affects people in other parts of the world. Okay. Globalization has led to interaction between people of different countries and has led to internationalization of food habits, dress habits, lifestyle, and views have facilitated the world in becoming global village. Okay, the effect of globalization is far-reaching. It offers us all, but affects us differently. Thus, while for some it may be mean new opportunities, for others the loss of livelihood. Okay, good. Increased opportunities for women open up broad communication lines and brought more companies as well as different worldwide organization into India. This provides more opportunities for women who are becoming a larger part of the India. Feminist movements has spread to India due to globalization, making women more vocal about their ideas. Globalization has led to an increase in education. Chandile. The primary ambition of young Indians from the smallest villages to the largest cities is to become rich. अच्छा तुम्हाला आणखी एक सांगतो हे वाचताना nowadays you must be knowing and you must heard the students from India, okay, most of the students from India, they are going to abroad for higher education. Okay, is this the impact of globalization? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is an impact of globalization. Many students from rural areas, okay, just recently, one of my students of 2021 batch, okay, he just 2 days back, he came to my home to meet me specially. And actually, he would be my next officer, IS officer. But unfortunately, he skipped that aim because of some of his personal reasons. Okay, and he decided to go abroad for higher education. So he is going to England. लंडनला तो चाललाय. तर परवाच्याच दिवशी मला भेटायला आला होता घरी आणि फार चांगला स्टुडंट आहे माझा. खूप ॲम्बिशियस, टॅलेंटेड आणि फार हार्डवर्किंग स्टुडंट. ओके, 1 वर्ष पूर्ण त्यांनी क्लास केल्यानंतर त्यांनी ते ठरवलं. पण ठीक आहे, पण त्याची इच्छा आहे अजूनही. तो म्हणतोय की सर परत मला ते वाटतं की आपण हे करायलाच पाहिजे होतं. एनिवे, so आता he is a person, he is a student from very middle class family, okay, but now he is having this opportunity to go to abroad for jobs, okay, for higher education, and many students across the country, okay, from different corners of the country, many students from the deprived sections of the society. In fact, the government of Maharashtra is having a very special scheme to send a marginalized student to abroad for higher education. Central government is having another scheme. Okay, so you can see that this is the impact of globalization. We are having a concept of global village. We are having a concept of global village. आता आपण म्हणतो की सगळेजण जवळ जवळ आलेले आहे. ठीक आहे, तर हे लक्षात घ्या की while writing this essay, I just want to explain from my side. आणखी 1-2 एसेस वाचतो मी आणि मग आपण पुढे जाऊया. मी थोडंसं मग माझ्यातर्फे डिस्कशन करेल काय याच्यात असायला पाहिजे, काय नसायला पाहिजे. सो वैष्णवी, तू पण चांगली सुरुवात केली आहे, पण एसे थोडासाच लिहिलेला आहे. त्याच्यामुळे अर्धवट एसे लिहायचे नाही. एसेस पूर्ण असले पाहिजे. Okay, if they are asking to write essays in 1000 to 1200 words, okay, so you need to maintain that specific this thing. Okay, at least you should write your answer for essay writing in 1000 words. तर ते तू फक्त बॅक टू बॅक एकच पेज लिहिलंय, म्हणजे हार्डली इट कुड बी 250 वर्ड्स. तर तेवढा एसे नाही पाहिजे. तेवढा एसे जर लिहिला तर फारच कमी मार्क्स मिळतील, लक्षात घे. ठीक आहे. श्रद्धाचा एसे आहे विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट इन इज रियालिटी और मिथ. श्रद्धा आहेस ना तू?
Yes, sir.
ओके, चला. श्रद्धा पण चांगली लिहिते. श्रद्धा, women empowerment in India, a reality or myth. Okay, so women empowerment in India has been a topic of discussion for many years. While there have been taken into consideration, the question still arises: it's a reality or myth? It's reality or merely a myth? Answers to this question, considering today's situation of women, is still complex with a different perspective and opinions. Yeah, this is very right beginning. The concept of women empowerment, or see, or this essay, you can give two different narrations, and with these two different situations, two different narrations, you can start your essay. Okay, but this is also good beginning, that the situation of women is still complex with a different perspective and different opinions. Okay, so this is good beginning. म्हणजे पहिल्याच याच्यामध्ये तू इंट्रोडक्शन मध्ये तो त्याच्यावरती त्याची जी कॉम्प्लेक्स परिस्थिती आहे त्याच्यावरती तू बोललेली आहे. सो दॅट इज गुड थिंग. द कन्सेप्ट ऑफ वुमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट इन इंडिया entails various aspects including social, financial, educational, economic independence, political participation, etc. छान आहे. Okay, however, despite the legal provisions and various initiatives taken by the government, women in India still faces issues in forefront. One of the significant barriers to women empowerment is the traditional and patriarchal, patriarchal mindset. So traditional and patriarchal mindset that still prevails in India. Okay, men are often considered the primary breadwinners of the family, and women are associated with the role of housemaker. Yeah, this has some way limited the women's mobility. Okay, women's mobility and their access to education and recreational activities, their dream hobbies, etc. एकदम चांगली सुरुवात आहे. ओके, आणि व्यवस्थित हे केलेलं आहे. त्याच्यानंतर if we look at today's generation, then we feel like women are somewhere getting an equal treatment as men. Women are now working in almost all the fields. People think this is all about women empowerment, but the reality is only the women's staging in metropolitan cities, urban cities, etc. are getting an opportunity to work, be free. What about the women in rural areas or women whose family mindset is still stuck in past? There are the polite, fulfill families' wishes, should learn how to cook, or else it's considered a taboo. Okay, education is one of the most critical factor in women empowerment. It helps women to have an independent identity, knowledge about what's right and wrongs, skills necessary for their understanding and growth. However, despite the significant changes made in educational terms, the female literacy rate in India is still low compared to male. Considering the rural area where a girl get married early and miss her education, without education, it is not possible for women to be economically independent. Women in India are often discriminated against against and are paid lesser than male. this scenario happen in cities also, metropolitan cities also, where even the finest business women or an actress or artist are paid lesser compared to the male counterparts. Okay, this limits to the contribution. चला ठीक आहे, छान लिहिलंय तू, छान लिहिलंय. आणि याला काय करायचं की पॉलिटिकल पार्टिसिपेशन ठीक आहे, सोशल राईट्स ठीक आहे, चांगलं लिहिलंय तू, चांगलं लिहिलं. आय थिंक की हे चांगलं आहे, म्हणजे व्यवस्थित आहे. तो एक प्रॉपर डायरेक्शनने तू लिहितेस. ओके, सो दिस इज समहाउ विच इज रिक्वायर्ड इन रायटिंग सच काइंड ऑफ एसे. अँड त्याच्यात मी तुम्हाला एकच महत्वाची गोष्ट सांगतो की इफ यू आर रायटिंग एसे, सो in essay you try to mention some of the recent examples wherever it is possible. Okay, wherever it is possible. तसं मी तुम्हाला आता विमेनचा आपला इश्यू हे चाललाय म्हणून मी तुम्हाला सांगतो की you try to introduce this essay. Okay, you can introduce this essay with the help of some example. Okay, with the help of some example, means when we are talking about the empowerment. Okay, so you can start this essay, suppose in 2023. हा, तुम्ही 2023 मध्ये लिहिताय, एसे लिहिताय, ठीक आहे. तर तुम्ही असं स्टार्ट करा ना, त्याची बिगिनिंग असं स्टार्ट करा की ऑन सो अँड सो डेट. Okay, on so and so date. Suppose if you are knowing the, okay, as usual, okay, it was a usual morning, and किंवा असं लिहू शकता तुम्ही की so and so date I feel very happy, किंवा आणखी काहीतरी. and news came up about the victory of Srimati Draupadi Murmu as the second women president of India. Okay, and the news covered by all leading newspapers, and for the entire day it was a great news of in front of media. Okay, म्हणजे हे असं काहीतरी ही लिहा, म्हणजे हे कसं की पॉझिटिव्ह बिगिनिंग. ओके, विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट, पॉझिटिव्ह बिगिनिंग, बिकॉज शी इज द सेकंड प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ युअर कंट्री. ओके, अर्लियर the president of women president of India was Pratibha Patil. Okay, so these are the greatest, what you can say, these are the greatest designations. Okay, these are the highest designations in our country, constitutional designation that too. Okay, so women as the president of India, this is nothing but we are, like, our country is recognizing the concept of the empowerment of the women. So you are beginning, instead of giving some negative example, you can give this example. See, if you want to talk about the negative part, first give the positive example. लक्षात येते का? म्हणजे तुम्हाला जर एखाद्या गोष्टीच्या निगेटिव्ह, म्हणजे समजा आपल्याला विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट वरती निगेटिव्ह बोलायचं असेल, तर पहिले तुम्ही पॉझिटिव्ह बोला, नग निगेटिव्ह बोला. लक्षात येतं? दिस इज अ गुड अप्रोच. ओके, because what happens now, if you are starting your essay with negative example, okay, so what would that you don't know the mentality of the valuer. What it will change his mentality. अरे यार, ये तो निगेटिव से स्टार्ट कर रहा है, ये तो मतलब ये तो बहुत ही क्रिटिकल आदमी है. He or she could have this mentality के ये. So start your essay with such kind of positive examples. Okay, and then in that sequence, you narrate the negativity in the society. Okay, like if secondly, if you are writing like one example, see, one example you are giving that Draupadi Murmu, she has become the president of India. And the second example you can definitely mention that in the state of Manipur, two women from the tribal community paraded naked by a mob. Okay, by a mob. In both the two examples, one tribal woman she has become the president, and the two tribal women paraded naked. What this shows? There is a question. There is a question mark on the process of empowerment. In the one example, you are showing that there is empowerment because she has reached to that highest position, which is a constitutional position. She is the de jure head of the state. But what about those two women which have those who have paraded naked by a mob? This is showing the influence of the patriarchy, and you must be knowing this word, Forcian. म्हणजे patriarch, a society full of this mindset of patriarchy. So they always think that might is right and we are the powerful. है ना? जे जे ज्या सोसायटीमध्ये पॅट्रियार्की असते, पुरुष सत्ताक जी असते, त्यांच्या डोक्यामध्ये हेच असतं की आम्ही पुरुष म्हणून आम्ही सर्वश्रेष्ठ आहोत किंवा आम्ही पॉवरफुल आहोत. ओके, सो बेसिकली वॉट एव्हर द reasons behind that very inhuman and barbaric incidents, but you can start if you are writing your essay in 2023 mains, you can start your essay if you are getting essay related to this kind of topic, women empowerment, then with one example, positive example, you can definitely say that this is a very positive example of the women empowerment in India, and I can accept that the process of empowerment is going on. But what about another example? Like another example from the same country and with respect to the same tribal women related to the tribal communities. Another example is that the two women have been paraded naked by a group of mad persons. Okay, so this poses a question on this specific topic, whether the women empowerment in India is a reality or a myth. लक्षात येतं मी काय म्हणतो तुम्हाला? तुम्ही दोन गोष्टींची कंपॅरिझन केलेली आहे. दोन्ही ट्रायबल कम्युनिटीच्या वुमेन एक हायेस्ट पोझिशनला गेली, दोन वुमेन्सला हे करण्यात आलं. You can quote examples of that one IAS officer won in the 2022 result of civil services examination. All the first three girls, all the first three toppers are women, girls. Okay, but at the same time, you can compare that this is the statistics of atrocities on the women. This is the statistics of rape victims in India, gang rape victims in India. लक्षात येतं, कंपेअर करा त्याला. This is positive example, another is negative example. लक्षात येतंय का? The demand of this essay is comparison. Okay, the demand of this essay is comparison. तुम्ही लिहा की पहिल्या तीन ऑल इंडिया टॉपर मुली आहेत, पण नंतर मग गँगरेप होतात, कास्ट अॅट्रॉसिटीज होतात महिलांवरती, गँगरेप होतात महिलांवरती. ओके, डावरीच्या घटना घडतात. ओके, डोमेस्टिक व्हायलन्सच्या घटना घडतात. ओके, देन हाऊ टू लाईक कंपेअर. ओके, कंपेअर, then compare rest of the things. Okay, then you can compare rest of the things. Then you compare literacy rate, then you compare sex ratio, then you compare infanticide. Okay, आता infanticide होतं, अजूनही होतं काही काही ठिकाणी. Okay, then so you need to support whatever you are narrating. No, so if you are narrating this is a myth, if you are narrating this is a reality, then how reality, how myth? Okay, why you are telling that this is a reality? On what ground? You need to support your essay with the help of those grounds. You need to support your essays. If you are talking about the myth, then why myth? How myth? Evidences द्या, लिहा. Okay, नुसता हवा में तीर नहीं चलाने. Even if you are writing essays, so हवा में नहीं. And then you need to include the constitutional provisions for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of women's society specifically. Okay, if you are referring constitutional provisions, if you are referring the work done by our great social reformers, okay, if you are referring to the constitutional provisions, different schemes, but the positive part is for the empowerment is that there are so many schemes. नावं टाका, त्याची काही प्रॉब्लेम नाहीये, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाहीये. त्याची नावं टाका, तुम्हाला माहिती असेल तर थोडंसं टाका की देर आर this is scheme, that is scheme, this and that. Okay, and then challenges टाका तुम्ही, challenges की what are the challenges. Okay, and then असं लिहा की the despite, like the thing is that in 21st century, the thing is that we have achieved a lot since independence. Okay, but still there are so many different areas where there is a need of constructive initiative and the constructive work, and that is the responsibility of awaken India. That is the responsibility of the awakened citizens of India. That is the responsibility of a bureaucracy. That is the responsibility of women's organizations, males organizations, NGO, every citizen, every awakened citizen. तुम्हाला हे सांगावं लागेल की समाजाला सेक्स एज्युकेशन शिकवावं लागणार आहे, समाजाला सायंटिफिक टेम्पर शिकवावं लागणार आहे. बिकॉज ऑफ द लॅक ऑफ द सायंटिफिक टेम्पर ऑल्सो the male folk commit atrocities on the women. In fact, sometimes you would find that the women are responsible for the atrocities on the women. महिलांच्या atrocities साठी हे असतात, कारणीभूत असतात, है ना. तर खूप साऱ्या गोष्टी आहेत, तर त्या तुम्ही लिहू शकता. तो सेकंड जो टॉपिक होता, ग्लोबलायझेशन अँड द सोसायटी अँड द कल्चर. विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दॅट ऑल्सो, हा आदित्य बोल.
So this is what like I have written in my essay, that like after getting empowered, what they are doing with that power. Like, are you helping others or are you just selfishly benefiting from?
So that is important. No, that is important. Ki this is not just the responsibility of the like male. Okay, this is also responsibility of the women, those who got benefited from the constitutional provisions or whatever the facilities. Okay, like suppose here there are so many girls candidates, right? खूप साऱ्या girls आहेत आपल्या इकडे. Okay, so once you are entering into bureaucracy at a higher level, so along with your male counterpart, okay, it is your responsibility, more it is your responsibility. ती सगळ्यांचीच रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आहे, पण ज्या मुली, ज्या महिला त्यातून येतात त्यांची ती जास्त रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी असते. म्हणजे सगळ्यांचीच आहे, परंतु ऍज अ विमेन म्हणून महिलांची जास्त रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी असते ती. मग आता राष्ट्रपती जर महिला असतील तर महिलेची ऍज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया she is more responsible. Okay, even though she is not a de facto ruler, but she is a de jure ruler. So she is having more responsibility towards the happenings in the society, towards the happening in the country. She can, like last time, she kept silence. Okay, so that is very surprising. So here also, if somebody is becoming IAS officer, a women candidate, and if she is keeping silence on the atrocities in her jurisdiction, so that is not expected. Okay, and other than your job, what extra you can do for this transformation, so that is expected. म्हणजे हे प्रत्येकाला लागू होतं. ओके, हे आणखी कुठे कुठे लागू होतं, हे इथे पण लागू होतं की आपण म्हणतो की बॅकवर्ड, आपण म्हणतो की म्हणजे व्हॉट एव्हर. Okay, like those who are taking the benefits from so many schemes, and so everybody who is taking benefits from so many schemes, so many policies, so they should work on the concept of payback to society. Aditya, आणखी बोल.
So there's this recent 2022 मध्ये आलेलं आहे, I think, or maybe 20. So there was a senior IAS officer in Bihar Women and Child Development Corporation. Her name was something Harjot Kaur Bamra.
Hmm.
So she made a controversy when she publicly mocked a schoolgirl for demanding sanitary napkins. Like she
Yes,
publicly mocked
yes,
it.
yes,
So it
yes,
is like,
yes.
even if you are empowered, there is no guarantee you are going to be a good human being, no matter like who you are.
Definitely. That is totally based on your social sensitization. Because getting a chair as a IS or whatever officer doesn't mean that you can empower others.
I mean,
Okay.
she is like a senior officer, and there is a schoolgirl who is
There are
asking for a
there
right.
are
I mean, she is supposed to get that. It's a right, like at cheaper rates, and then she is mocking her publicly. I mean, she has
no
said
no
a
no.
lot other things, but I won't read that here. People can
हम्म.
like check that out on internet. It was a huge controversy.
झाली होती ही आली होती बरेच याच्यावरती आलेलं होतं ही न्यूज आली होती आणि खूप नॉन सेन्सिटिव्ह विमेन ऑफिसर्स आहेत आपल्या इकडे मेल ऑफिसर्स विमेन ऑफिसर्स सो दॅट इज सो बेसिकली सी तेच मी नेहमी सांगत असतो की युअर सोशल सेन्सिटायझेशन इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट फॅक्टर इफ यू वॉन्ट टू secure these chairs as IAS, IPS or whatever as position. So your social sensitization is most important. You should be a responsible person everywhere, any person. कुठल्या कास्ट कम्युनिटी कुठल्या ह्याच्यातून येतात त्याला काहीच अर्थ नसतो तिथे. ओके अँड दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट इन एव्हरी फील्ड. ओके मग तुम्ही MP बनता MLA बनता मिनिस्टर बनता आणि आताच्याच घटनेवरती बघा ना तुम्ही आताच्याच घटनेवरती बघा त्या राहुल गांधींनी काहीतरी फ्लाइंग किस फेकला तर त्याच्या विरोधात त्या सगळ्या बीजेपीच्या MPs कंप्लेंट केली त्याची आणि एकही बीजेपीची विमेन महिला मंत्री मणिपूरच्या केसवरती काहीच बोलल्या नाही. म्हणजे पॉलिटिकली आपण किती डायल्युटेड ओपिनियनचे आहोत. हा आदित्य बोल.
So that flying kiss was not meant for Smriti Irani. It was meant for the speaker. I mean, it's clearly visible on the camera, but then they are manipulating the camera angle, and then they're claiming this thing.
नाही व्हॉटेवर ते कोणासाठी असू द्या पण किती हे किती आयरनी आहे की त्यातली एकही जी विमेन MPs आहेत सो दे लाईक नेव्हर एक्सप्रेस अ सिंगल वर्ड ऑन मणिपूर केस पण याला किती मोठा इश्यू केला त्यांनी. सो बेसिकली कसं आहे की
स्मृती इराणीने असे खूप सारे केसेस आहे ज्याच्यावर शी हॅडंट गिव्ह अ वर्ड.
नेव्हर
एक
गिव्हन
आर्टिकल
ओपिनियन.
होतं.
सो म्हणजे कसं आहे की म्हणजे वेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एम्पॉवरमेंट विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट विथआउट रिलीजन सो you need to also understand this thing that ultimately those women who secured bright future okay or who are in a better position so they are still under the ideological influence of what you can say for example in this case they are under the ideological influence of their party or they are under the influence of their leadership who is a male leadership. Okay, I don't know what personally she or the members of the that political party are thinking about the Manipur incidences, but there is a possibility that all those women members are keeping mum because they are associated with some political party and their existence is based on the dictatorship of that political party. म्हणजे त्यांचे पॉलिटिकल मेल लीडर्स जे म्हणतील त्यांच्यावरती त्यांचं अस्तित्व अवलंबून आहे. म्हणजे कसं की इव्हन दो म्हणजे सी यू नीड टू सी द यू नीड टू यू नीड टू यू नीड टू you should critically interpret these incidences. Why the women member means we are talking about the empowerment of the women that women should enter into politics, women should enter into economic field, she should become independent economically. She should be in a higher position in bureaucracy, education, science, this and that. Okay, but with respect to specifically with respect to political field, if the woman is minister and if she is not doing anything or she is not taking any initiative in such kind of cases, then this is not an empowerment. Okay, this is still a myth. हे असं तुम्ही करू शकता. लक्षात येते का मी काय म्हणतो? तुम्हाला असं करावं लागेल. थोडासाच वेळ आहे म्हणून ग्लोबलायझेशनवर थोडंसं बोलतो. ग्लोबलायझेशन is not a new concept. पहिली गोष्ट तर, if you are going into ancient history, you must be aware about the Silk Route. Are you aware about the Silk Route?
Yes.
Have you heard the name of Greek king Menander? In India, he is known as Milin. Have you heard the name of the kings like Kushana? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kushana. Okay, so right from the very beginning, in fact, in the Indus Valley civilization, during the Indus Valley civilization, we were having a contact of Indian territory with the territory of the Mesopotamia. So Mesopotamia was a different civilization. India was a different civilization. Okay. Indus Valley civilization, but still they were having contact with each other. So the contact between two or the more civilizations or the two or the more countries, this comes under the concept of globalization. ठीक आहे. म्हणजे काय की 2 किंवा 3 किंवा अधिक राष्ट्र एकमेकांसोबत आदान प्रदान करतात, याला नॉर्मली आपण ग्लोबलायझेशन म्हणतो. ओके, एक नॉर्मल केस मध्ये. सो यू कॅन सी दॅट ड्युरिंग दॅट टाइम, म्हणजे दिस इज नॉट ॲट ऑल न्यू कन्सेप्ट. So if you can find the traces of globalization, you can find the concept of the traces of globalization in the ancient period also. Like there was a contact between IVC people and the people of the Mesopotamia. Okay. Eventually, if you are moving, you would find that the Greek people arrived in India, that the Shakas arrived in India, Kushanas arrived in India. Okay. Then the Islamic invasions. Okay, and with the arrival of the and with the establishment of the Islamic rule in India, we can find a different impact on the Indian society right from that period. And that's why when we talk about the architecture, society, this and that, वगैरह, so that is very much different. Why the Indian society is too much diversified? Okay, why you can see that we have like in North India, South India, East India, West India, central part of India, we are having different food pattern. है ना? We are having different काय म्हणतात त्याला, आपलं हे जे आहे काय म्हणतो त्याला आपण, wearing pattern जो आहे. Okay, like food pattern is different. Okay, whatever the dress you are wearing, so that is different. If you are going to the Jammu Kashmir, Leh Ladakh, Tibet वगैरे एरिया, तर तिथे वेगळं आहे. ओके, साऊथला गेलं तर वेगळं आहे. ओके, देन इटिंग किंवा फूड पॅटर्न मध्ये पण खूप सारे डिफरन्सेस आहेत. वी हॅव इन्कॉर्पोरेटेड सो मेनी different food items from the different cultures. For example, आपल्या इकडे because of the Islamic invasions, we have incorporated Persian food. ओके, काही पर्शियन फूड आपण इन्कॉर्पोरेट केलेलं आहे. ओके, विथ द कॉन्टॅक्ट ऑफ साऊथ विथ द नॉर्थ. ओके, और नॉर्थ विथ द साऊथ, वी हॅव इन्कॉर्पोरेटेड डिफरंट दिस थिंग. अँड ॲट द सेम टाइम ग्लोबलायझेशन, म्हणजे जसं आता मगाशी आदित्यने उदाहरण दिलं बर्गरचं, आणि आता पिझ्झा बर्गर हे भारतातले पदार्थ हे नाहीये, बट नाऊ यू कॅन सी एव्हरीवेअर. ओके, ते पिझ्झा बर्गर एव्हरीवेअर. आपण आता फूडमध्ये पण चायनीज फूड म्हणतो. So that is not an Indian food basically. ठीक आहे. And then there are so many items. Then there are so many food items. Okay, if you see परत फूड वेअरिंग स्टाईल वरती आलं तर आपण आधी आपल्या इकडे, हा आदित्य बोल, धोती वगैरे हा जो प्रकार आहे, हा आदित्य बोल.
पहिले आपल्याला म्हणजे लाईक इन द इनिशियल डेज जेव्हा आपण कोणाला काही पिझ्झा किंवा पिझ्झा खायचा आहे तर ते प्रॉब्ली डॉमिनोजला जायचे. पण आता आपण हे बघतोय की आपले इंडियन जे मार्केट्स आहेत, इव्हन जो ग्रोसरी वाला असतो, भाजीपालावाला, त्याच्याकडे ते जे इटालियन भाज्या आहेत ते त्याच्याकडे पण आहेत. आता आपल्या
Yes,
ग्रोसरी याच्यामध्ये चीज पण मिळतं.
yes,
So
yes,
earlier,
yes.
like it was only in Domino's, but now it is like coming down to your local grocery store level.
येस येस एव्हरीवेअर. म्हणजे खूप साऱ्या गोष्टी आता झालेल्या आहेत, खूप साऱ्या गोष्टी. ओके, म्हणजे आता तुम्ही बाहेर जाल तर तुम्हाला इंडियन फूड मिळेल तिथे. ओके, म्हणजे तो पण दॅट इज ऑल्सो इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन इन फॉरेन कंट्रीज. ओके, म्हणजे इफ यू आर गोइंग टू सो मेनी different countries like in America also, in Canada also, in Australia also, you can find that students and the people, they are going abroad, and they are getting Indian food there. Okay, we are getting their food here, है ना, आपण कॉन्टिनेंटल म्हणतो, है ना. तर ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी आहेत. तर या पद्धतीने तुम्हाला लिहावं लागेल. मग आपलं बिहेवियर कसं चेंज झालं, आपला इकॉनॉमिक पॅटर्न कसा चेंज झाला. आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल आणखी शेअर मार्केटची जी कन्सेप्ट आहे, शेअर मार्केट माहिती आहे तुम्हाला. शेअर मार्केट इज नथिंग बट अ इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन. म्हणजे व्हॉट एव्हर हॅपनिंग ग्लोबली, सो यू कॅन सी द इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ दॅट ऑन युअर इंडियन इकॉनॉमी. ऑइलच्या प्राइसेस तिकडे काहीतरी होतं आणि इकडे त्याचा इम्पॅक्ट होतो. दिस इज इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन. सोसायटी, ओके, सोसायटी म्हणजे इकॉनॉमी इज अ पार्ट अँड पार्सल ऑफ सोसायटी. सो दॅट इम्पॅक्ट. एज्युकेशनल याच्यावरती काय इम्पॅक्ट झाला, एज्युकेशन, है ना, लोकांच्या लिव्हिंग स्टँडर्डवरती काय इम्पॅक्ट झाला. त्याच्यानंतर त्यांचे जे कॉस्ट्युम्स, म्हणजे जे काही आपण पेहराव घालायचो व्हॉटेवर, त्याच्यावरती काय इम्पॅक्ट झाला. हे सगळं लिहावं लागेल तुम्हाला. तुमचे जे ट्रॅडिशन्स आहेत, तुम्ही जे सेलिब्रेशन्स करतात, त्याच्यावरती काय इम्पॅक्ट झाला. सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स. ओके, आपली जी एक पर्टिक्युलर बेसिक पद्धत होती, म्हणजे आर्टिझन्स, वी वेर हॅव्हिंग अ ग्रुप ऑफ आर्टिझन्स इन इंडियन सोसायटी. आपल्या इकडे कुंभार असायचे, आपल्या इकडे सुतार असायचे, लोहार असायचे. त्यांच्या ट्रॅडिशन्स वरती काय इम्पॅक्ट झाला. ओके, अलीकडच्या काळामध्ये सगळ्यात महत्वाचा आहे ग्लोबलायझेशनचा इम्पॅक्ट ऑन इंडियन सोसायटी. Specifically, it is on Indian economy also, most powerful. You can mention examples of Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, हा कोविडच्या नंतर तर खूपच मोठा इम्पॅक्ट झालेला आहे. ओके, कोविड तर खूप मोठं एक्झाम्पल आहे. हा, तुम्ही अगेन बिकॉज ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन, okay, because of globalization, increase in multinational companies, okay, because of globalization, there is investment in India. Okay, foreign companies are coming here. Okay, we are becoming a workman force of foreign companies. त्याच्यामुळे काय इम्पॅक्ट झाला, या सगळ्या गोष्टींना तुम्हाला इंटरलिंक करायचं आहे. हा आदित्य बोल.
So we can also like create a warning that the last time one foreign company had invested in India, it ended up like we ended up losing our freedom. So like we can use this in the like warning for globalization, the ill effects of globalization. I mean, the
काय काय.
East India Company was a foreign company.
हा हा हा,
So
राईट.
when the last time this globalization thing and foreign investment was happening, we ended up losing our freedom. So that should act as a warning that this time we should be careful.
हा, ते करू शकतो ना, ते लिहिता येऊ शकतं. बट द पर्पज ड्युरिंग दॅट टाइम, बिकॉज वी लाईक East India Company and rest of the companies arrived in India not accidentally, deliberately. Okay, because it was the impact of the process of Renaissance and Enlightenment in European nations. Okay, and after that there is a growth of industrialization, वगैरह वगैरह. So they were in search of so many different regions. आता काय होतंय, what is happening now, and then they arrived in India, they saw Indian society, and then eventually after so many years of their establishment in India, they started participating into Indian politics, Indian society, okay, and Indian cultural areas. Now what is happening, we are inviting foreign companies. आपण इन्व्हाइट करतोय. ओके, वी आर इन्व्हाइटिंग.
सर बट टेक्निकली तेव्हा पण इंडियन रूलर्स इन्व्हाइट केलेलं ना, म्हणजे इन अ सेन्स लाईक द इंडियन रूलर्स
इन्व्हाइट
अलाउड देम टू
म्हणण्यापेक्षा
स्टे देयर.
हा अलाउड केलं तर त्यावेळेस लाईक तो थोडासा वेगळा भाग होऊन जाईल तो. पण आता म्हणजे तू हे टाकू शकतो की बाबा येस म्हणजे बिकॉज ऑफ ग्लोबलायझेशन देर इज अ पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ मीन्स आफ्टर 1991 we have opened the door for all global companies, okay, but we need to have some conscious steps, okay, towards these companies. हे आपण टाकू शकतो because we are having experience of East India Company earlier. Okay, पण आता काय झालंय माहित आहे का, ग्लोबलायझेशन इज नॉट जस्ट associated with India. Globalization is a very broad concept. Like you can see the Chinese goods in India and Indian goods in China. This is globalization. Okay, तर त्याच्यामुळे कसं की विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू म्हणजे आता आपल्याला काय म्हणता येईल त्याला की आपल्याला हे बघावं लागणार आहे विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू धिस एसे की ग्लोबलायझेशन सोसायटी कल्चर. मग व्हॉट इज इन कल्चर, व्हॉट इज इन सोसायटी, व्हॉट इज अ कन्सेप्ट ऑफ सोसायटी, व्हॉट इज अ कन्सेप्ट ऑफ कल्चर. आता सोसायटीमध्ये परत तुम्ही मेल अँड फिमेल, okay, poor and rich, rural and urban, okay, the people belong to the different caste system. Now what is the impact of that globalization on the caste system, what is the impact of globalization on the agriculture? हे असं जे आहे ते सगळं तुम्हाला असं एक फ्रेमवर्क करून डिस्कशन करावं लागेल. हा बोल.
One example of the impact on caste system was that the weavers, they ended up losing their job, their caste occupation, because the company was flooding the factory made fabrics, and now these weavers had to become laborers. So that was like
you can mention if you are identifying the negative impact, so you can mention negative impact. If you are identifying somewhere positive impact, so you mention positive impact. Not necessary everything you are mentioning that should be positive. You mention both the things. लक्षात आला. एनिवे, सो मी इथेच थांबतो. अच्छा, कोणाला काय आणखी याच्याबद्दल बोलायचं आहे? व्हॅल्यू ऍडिशन, युअर ओपिनियन रिलेटेड टू दीज टू एसेस. एनीबडी? अंडरस्टँडिंग होतंय का? स्मृती, बोलत चला. सगळ्यात महत्वाचं आहे की तुमची थिंकिंग प्रोसेस डेव्हलप झाली पाहिजे. बिकॉज अल्टिमेटली essays are not essays. If you're writing essays with the help of books, so forget की खूप चांगला स्कोर मिळेल तुम्हाला. ओके, बिकॉज अल्टिमेटली एसे रायटिंग इज नॉट जस्ट रिलेटेड टू बुकिश नॉलेज. मी हे तुम्हाला आधीच सांगतो. essay writing is mostly associated with your own thinking process, and thinking process, definitely for the development of the thinking process, vast reading is required. Okay, vast reading is required, but develop your thinking process, develop your ideas. Okay, you should give your ideas a proper way, एक proper way द्या त्याला. ओके, निगेटिव्ह पॉझिटिव्ह हा पार्ट नसतो, तो लिहायचा असतो. पण तो म्हणजे हे निगेटिव्ह लिहायचं की जे आहे ते लिहा, म्हणजे व्हॉट एव्हर यू आर ऑब्झर्विंग अँड व्हॉट एव्हर इज ट्रूथ. ओके, सो पुट इट डाऊन in an organized manner, and then on the basis of those facts, okay, that information you can have your own critical analysis. Okay, so that is what is expected in essay. And wherever, if the essay, if in that essay, if they are like, if it is expecting that you should write some what you can say solutions part. So if the demand of the essay is solution, then you can mention some solutions also. If the solutions part or some sorts of suggestions is not required, then don't write unnecessarily. Okay, so try to identify the what you can say the orientation of that essay. What is expected, काय एक्सपेक्ट केलेलं आहे ते बघा, त्याच्यानंतर ते लिहा. ठीक आहे, तर मी इथेच थांबतो. अँड as per the schedule, we are meeting after 15-20 minutes. ठीक है, चलो, थैंक यू.